Hello, Amazing All Stars. Today is Thursday, April 7th. Let's find out what is on our number corner calendar for the day. Remember, we've been talking about symmetry. Can we draw a line in which we can fold the shape that we see in front of us and make sure that it's the same exact thing on both sides of the line when we fold it? Most of our shapes we've seen so far this month, we've been able to draw a line of symmetry. Yesterday, we saw we could not. We drew the line and we had a super pointy top area here, and we did not have that same thing on the bottom. Let's see what's on today's card. Wow, we have a rectangle. Let's see if we can draw a line of symmetry. We can draw a line going straight down. And you know what? I'm going to try this. Let's see if we can draw another line of symmetry. We sure can. We can draw at least two lines of symmetry for this. If we folded it going vertically up and down, straight down the middle, and fold it in half, we could draw a line of symmetry and they would be the same thing on both sides. We could even do the same thing if we folded it with a line going across, or what we call horizontally. Symmetry lines are possible in many ways. All right, All Stars, we are going to move on now to our days in school. Believe it or not, we have been in school for 110, 120, 133 days. 133 days where we have been in school together. Amazing. The school year is going by so fast. Let's look at a new activity. We are going to pull out our math books, and you're going to pull out the math book that has blocks on the top and a person made of shapes. Blocks on the top and a person made of shapes. And what I'd like you to do right now is pause the video if you need to go grab that book. You'll be looking at 2 pages from this book today. So it's important that you have this book in front of you ready to work. Okay, now that you have this book in front of you, please turn it to page 55. Page 55. And when you see it, you're going to see something that looks sort of familiar, but there's a little bit more on it. We have not 100 grid. This grid does not go up to 100. It goes up to 120. 120. And as I've mentioned to you throughout the entire school year, it is your job as a first grader to know how to count from the number 1 all the way up to 120 and count backwards from 120 all the way to the number 1. That is a goal. That's why you constantly hear me say that in our number corner videos. Make sure you're counting. Make sure you're counting. Well, today we're going to do something special with us. This particular grid has all of the numbers on it from 1 to 120. You are about to do an activity that you may need this page to help you fill in some information. If you turn to the very next page in this book, page 56, it doesn't look like page 55 at all. Page 56 is a little bit different. There are some numbers missing. And your job, All Stars, is to actually fill in the missing numbers. If we were counting 1, 2, what is that missing number that belongs here? You'd write it in. 4, 5. What is that missing number? You'd write it in. And you're going to keep doing that until you make it all the way to 120. But let's just say, oh my goodness, I get to the number 74 and I don't remember what comes next. What can I do? Well, I want you to remember this. You can always look at page 55 that does have all of the information on it. So if you can't remember what comes after 74, you look on page 55 and the information is there. But I am going to challenge you, All-Stars. If you don't know these numbers, that should be a goal that you set for yourself, that you are going to actually practice counting from the number 1 to the number 120 without having a helper. This is a helper. This 120 grid is a helper. But remember, we're building our math muscles, and our goal is to make sure you know this even without the helper. So your job right now is to complete page 56, filling in all of those numbers. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Off you go.